Anthony DiBernardo is a pitmaster and an owner, but he's also a family man. I sit down one-on-one with him to talk about family and his famous Swig and Swine business for a special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. And listen to this interview later on iHeartRadio. Anthony DiBernardo.
Yes, sir.
So good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, sir. You obviously are the owner here of Swig and Swine Barbecue.
Yes, sir. One of them.
Yes, sir. What is it like to be you these days?
It's busy. It's busy. Blessed. Blessed beyond measure, for sure. You know, we opened up West Ashley 5 years ago. Not even 5 years ago. May 27th will be 5 years. If you would have told me 5 years ago that I'd be sitting here in the 4th Swig and Swine in Charleston, I would have taken you for a drug test. That's how quick it's been. That's how, I mean, nobody saw this coming. Not even me.
Wow.
I mean, we are humbled.
What is the biggest difference between 5 years ago and now when you think of Swig and Swine as a brand?
The brand itself has just grown immensely. I think, I would like to think that the same characteristics that help build the brand still hold true to the brand. At least we try to keep it that way. I think the biggest thing that's changed for me personally is, you know, I work a lot more on the business instead of in the business.
Right.
You know, from 5 years ago, I was there sleeping on a cot, opening that first store for the first probably 6 months before we hired the first overnight guy. And now, you know, I'm in 4 restaurants, or at least I try to be every day. And there's a lot more management that goes on behind the scenes than in the restaurant itself. So that's the biggest change for me personally.
And you talk about overnight. Obviously, you are also a pitmaster.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, talk to me about you as a pitmaster.
What do you want to know? There are no secrets in barbecue.
Oh, really?
There are no secrets.
Okay.
I tell everybody that all the time. There are no secrets in barbecue. If you have the time and you're willing to dedicate the time to it, anybody can do it.
Anybody can do it.
Yeah. You just have to have pride in what you do.
Pride in what you do. And obviously, we're sitting in one of the locations right now, the new Swig and Swine here on Market Street.
Market Street. Beautiful location. How could you beat it?
Right. When you think about this location, what goes to your mind?
I can tell you that, so I came down here with the military in 1990 with the Navy. I used to cook on submarines. And in 1990, I would come down to the market, and this was, you know, I fell in love with Charleston right here on the market. I mean, I remember going to Cafe 99 and listening to Edwin McCain play on a bar stool out front on a Tuesday night.
Right.
Or go to T-Bones and listen to the Blue Dogs on a Tuesday night for dollar beer night.
Right.
You know, and the charm of Charleston, that's where I fell in love with it, right here on the market. This was the epicenter of Charleston. Market Street and East Bay is all we had back then, you know, for restaurants and bars. And to be here now with a restaurant is just mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing. You talk about restaurants, you talk about the market. When you look at the Charleston restaurant scene, where does your mind go to?
Just the growth, you know, the growth. I mean, if you look back, like just from my experience, from 1990 until now, the number of restaurants has, at least multiplied by 6 times, if not 8 times.
That's right.
You know, I was the original crew of Blossoms in '94 when I got off the submarines. So that was right when things were starting to get traction and start moving in Charleston. And, you know, I like to think that I was a part of that and that I've held true to it. You know, my partner, Steve Kish, is probably the most underrated pioneer of Charleston cuisine. And, you know, it kind of irks me a little bit, you know, when I don't hear his name mentioned the way it should be. But, you know, he opened 82 Queen in 1982.
Yeah. 2 years before I was born.
1982, cooking 82 Queen and put that place on the map. And, you know, if that's not a pioneer of Charleston cuisine, I don't know what is.
Let's talk about it. Queen Street Hospitality. What does it mean to you?
It exemplifies Charleston. I mean, 82 Queen is the hub of hospitality.
Sure.
And has been since 1982. I mean, I'm beating a dead horse here, but it's, you know, that place is on the map for a reason. And, you know, we set Swig and Swine up to be a casual eatery, but with that fine dining approach. So when you come through that door, we're going to hit you with as much hospitality, as much kindness and graciousness as we can from the get-go.
Right.
And then it's on from there. You know, and that comes from Steve, and that comes from, you know, Jonathan, my other partner, and Patrick. I mean, we all tag team that, and that's our philosophy. It's hospitality. And that's why the name of the company is Queen Street Hospitality. Right. I mean, it was rooted in 82 Queen. And now it's kind of blossomed to 5 locations. We got 82 Queen and 4 Swig and Swine.
And obviously, Swig and Swine, Somerville's coming back soon as well.
Yeah, we should be open by mid-April.
Where are you emotionally with that?
That's nothing like building a place twice. I've been saying that a lot lately. Yeah. That was a tough blow. It really was. It was a Friday morning at 2 in the morning. I had the cops knocking on my door in Charleston in West Ashley. And one of my buddies is a patrolman for Somerville, and he heard the call, so he called a buddy in Charleston, had him come to my house and wake me up and get up there. And my son and I were the first ones on the scene, other than the firemen. And it was hard. It was really hard. It's been a big setback for us. Financially, it's almost crushed me. But it's there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So we're looking forward to mid-April. I'm looking forward to getting open up there and serving the good people of Somerville once again.
You have Qology. You have Sticky Fingers. You have Proven Smokehouse. Rodney Scott's. Lewis. Hope I'm not losing. Home team, that's right. And now you guys.
And Smoked Barbecue.
Oh, that's right. That's right. How do you stand out in that bunch?
You know, it's an interesting bunch. We all get along very well.
That's good.
Actually, you know, I'd say out of that circle there, Dan over at Poogan's, we're friends. Aaron at Home Team, we're friends. Rodney and I are friends. John and I are friends. Randall over there at Smoke, friends. Don't really know the guys from Sticky Fingers. But, you know, I make yearly trips to New York City with Rodney, and I help him cook up the Big Apple Barbecue in Madison Square Park every year. Wow. So, you know, we probably have a little tighter relationship, and Aaron and I, you know, we go back a while. So Aaron was actually used to work for Hospitality Management Group as well. So it's good. You know, I like to say that we kind of stand alone in our service aspect. I think that's what sets us apart in the barbecue world. You know, I think our food is comparable to everybody else's, but I think our service that we provide kind of lets us stand out a little bit.
And then you got Belinda.
And we have Miss Belinda.
We love Belinda.
Can you not love Belinda? Right? I mean, she puts more of my customers on Facebook than I do.
Yes.
Getting Swiggy with it.
Yeah, that's right. I'm getting Swiggy today.
Yeah, look who's getting Swiggy now.
Well, you talk about Swiggy, you talk about Swig and Swine. When you look at your menu, which food item describes you the best?
Man, I say the family plate. The family plate. You know, we were, I want to say we were open about a month or two, and people were coming in, and everybody was going to the pork because that's what they were comfortable with, and the ribs and the sausage.
Oh, yeah.
The turkey was not getting hit on. The brisket was not getting hit on as much, and you know, we got together and we're like, okay, how can we get something out there to encourage everybody to try everything? Sure. And that's where the family plate came from. And it kind of, you know, became, to me personally, a symbol for what we stand for. And it's sharing, it's family. It's, you know, you put that platter in the middle of 400 or 500 adults, and they all have something in common now. And it's like, you know, bringing them to my kitchen and everybody standing around the counter at the house and socializing and breaking bread together. That family plate kind of puts that all in perspective for us.
How can you put Swig and Swine in perspective right now?
Growth. You know, one thing that amazes me, and it really hit me when we opened Somerville. Somerville was our second store that we opened. And, you know, the West Ashley, Swig and Swine always for me has been survival. And this is me. This is all I do. This is how my family eats. And, you know, I've always had that mindset, and I think that was one of the reasons we hit the ground running so hard with Swig and Swine, because we had no choice. You know, I mean, I was without a paycheck for 8 months while we built the first Swig and Swine, so I was hurting. And, you know, we opened that first Swig and Swine, and it was nonstop. And when we opened Somerville, something changed, and I saw it. And, you know, we were sitting around, and we had everybody getting to know each other before we even opened the doors. And we told everybody to tell us a little something about yourself. I'd say 6 out of 10 of those employees that we had hired in Somerville all had families of their own. So then it became this whole new thing for me. So not only is Swig and Swine providing for my family, but now we're providing a place for people to work and provide for their families. So now that's a whole nother weight on your shoulder, because now you got their families to take care of.
Right.
You know, so it kind of changed the game for me. And it became a little more important to be successful and to succeed and to keep Swig and Swine moving forward and you know, not let these people down.
How do you move Swig and Swine forward?
Just grow the brand and just continue to deliver what we think is the best service and the best food we can. I mean, honestly, that's day in and day out. You know, I read reviews at 2 in the morning. I mean, things like Yelp and things like TripAdvisor, they keep me awake at night. They really do. You know, but that's where, if I'm not able to be in all 4 places at one time every single day, that's where I rely on feedback from customers and to tell me what's going on, you know. And, you know, our managers are great. We have great teams in place, and I get nightly communications from them, and that helps me a little bit. But really, Swig and Swine right now is just keeping the brand true to itself. And, you know, maybe there's some more growth, maybe not. I mean, right now, Somerville, and, you know, we launched Queen Street Catering. So that's a whole nother monster for us. So we have a lot on our plate right now. We're getting ready to get into travel season. I take off Tuesday for New Orleans for Hodge for the Cause, which is one of our biggest fundraisers of the year that we do. We'll go down there and cook with 90 other cook teams and raise money for families that are suffering with pediatric brain cancer. And then after that, we've been invited to cook at Memphis in May for Big Green Egg. So I'm headed to Memphis for the first time in May to do that. Then I co-founded an event in Idaho, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Last year was our first year for it. It's called From the Ashes. So I'll be headed out there again the 3rd week of June for the second installment of From the Ashes. And then that's it. But it's a busy couple months coming up. Yeah.
You talk about the customers. What's your message to the customers?
Meaning?
Thanking them.
Oh, I mean, I say it all the time. I mean, I really do. And you know, you'll see a lot of sappy posts coming up from us coming up on the 5-year anniversary. Yes. And I've actually started to work through some of those in my head because it's just, you know, it's just truly unbelievable. And I'm just thankful every day that they come through the doors and they trust us. And that's the biggest thing. When I respond to a Facebook post or if I respond to a review, 9 times out of 10, my words are, thank you for trusting us to feed your family. And then that truly humbles us, and I truly mean that. I mean, for you, I know how hard it is to work for your dollar. I do it every day. And, you know, we still have trouble paying bills at the house. You know, so I'm not, you know, people look at you in the restaurant business and they think you're doing this and doing that. And it's, you know, at the end of the day, I still put my pants on like everybody else. I still have the same bills to pay like everybody else. And I still go through hard times. But the fact that you're going to go out and work as hard as you do and make your dollar and trust your dollar in my establishment to feed your family means the world to us. It really does.
I know you talk a lot about family during this particular interview. Yeah. When you take off your owner hat and your pitmaster hat, who's Anthony DiBernardo?
Yeah. We're having some issues with that right now. No, I just have teenagers. Oh. So it's, you know, I work a lot. And I try to connect with my kids through work. Sure. And it doesn't work all the time, you know. But my son, Asher, is 17. My daughter, Mia, will be 13. So it's challenging, to say the least. But we get along. We get along well. I like to think we have good relationships. And, you know, of course, they are tried from time to time. And but that's it. I fish. That's all I do.
My stepfather does the same thing.
Yeah, that's how I get rid of. That's how I relieve my stress. Yep. The neighborhood I live in West Ashley has a few ponds.
Oh, good.
I go pond hopping from time to time and try to catch some bass. And that's about it.
That's so great to hear. Yeah. Maybe you combine that with barbecue somehow one day.
Maybe we'll figure it out. Yeah.
Well, Anthony DiBernardo, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it.
Appreciate you having me.
Oh, anytime.
Thank you.
Likewise.